John Blake presents The Day the War Ended, written by Jacky Hyams and read by Helen Lloyd. For more from Jacky Hyams, check out her previous book, Bomb Girls, Britain's Secret Army, also available in audiobook. Author's Note: Before 1971, the pound was divided up into 20 shillings, S. 1 shilling was made up of 12 pennies, D. A pound was made up of 240 pennies. A guinea was worth 21 shillings, or £1 and 1 shilling. I have given prices and sums of money in the original pre-decimal currency, which was replaced in February 1971. In order to calculate today's value of any original price quoted, the National Archives has a very useful website with a currency converter: www.nationalarchives.gov.uk/currency converter. As a general rule of thumb, £1 in 1945 was worth about £43 in today's currency. Introduction. The Day War Ended. He was a stranger. He lived permanently on the mantelpiece. Like millions of other kids' dads in the summer of 1945, when World War II ended, my father was an absent presence in our home until the day of his return from far-off India in the summer of 1946. "That's your daddy," children all over the country would be told, families pointing to the man in uniform, proudly staring into the camera, maybe a written scrawl on the back of a black and white photo carefully forwarded home with a long-awaited letter. Perhaps, I would reflect many decades later, the reason I had been unable to bond with my dad following the separation of those early toddler years lay buried in the conflict of my subsequent unhappy relationship with him. Who could know for sure if the long wartime absence of fathers through World War II permanently affected their children's subsequent relationship with them? And what of the children who never met the man in the photo because he'd been killed? How would they fare beyond the family's loss? Each family in Britain has a different story to tell about this war that had made such a huge impact on their lives. Many stories were far more dramatic or damaging than mine. Like so much about the after-effects of World War II, the emotional impact of families being torn apart or evacuated elsewhere or losing loved ones could not be explored fully until decades later. These stories were amongst the many issues surrounding the advent of the war's end. In looking closely at the period of Britain's history when World War II ended, firstly on VE Day, Victory in Europe, when the war between the Allied and Axis powers and Hitler's Germany formally ended on the 8th of May 1945, to be followed later that summer by VJ Day, Victory over Japan, with Japan's unconditional surrender to the Allies on the 15th of August 1945, after the news that atomic bombs had been dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki on the 6th of August. Those two dates in the summer of 1945 seem the most significant guides to the era. Just over a year later came an official Allied victory parade in London on the 6th of June 1946, a huge military event marking the cessation of hostilities. But in marking how the official ending of World War II was experienced for those millions at home, 9/10 of the population of Great Britain had remained civilians, when the 5.5 long years of war formally ceased, was it even possible to highlight a specific or fixed point in time when wartime finally, irrevocably ended in Britain? Or had too much changed with day-to-day lives to bring forth an easy answer? One can, of course, acknowledge the dates in the calendar as victory, and leave it at that, pay due homage to those who perished. According to the Royal British Legion, World War II killed 382,700 members of the British Armed Forces and 67,100 civilians. As tragic as each
Sample complete. Ready to continue?